Hi guys, Kitty back again. So we already got bit by zombies. If you didn't get bit by a zombie, check out our earlier video. If you did get your bite already, excellent job. Now it's time for your full zombie transformation. So we're gonna go ahead and do our face. Again, what you're gonna need is a cup of water. I like these especially for doing full face because they cover a really large area. So cotton swabs or cotton rounds are great. Again, I have paintbrushes here that I use specifically for these guys, or makeup brushes if you're using makeup. That is totally up to you. I always have a paper towel. Clearly, I've been using it to deal with my bite. I also have the trash can here because that way I'm not getting makeup all over my counter area. And then of course I am working with face paint. So this is one of our kit face paint palettes. Super useful for all things, let's be real. But you can also do this with makeup again as well. So yeah, let's get started. Alright guys, so in order to do this one, I do have to take off my glasses, and I apologize because I am pretty blind, so we'll see how this goes. But the first thing we're going to start out with is color choices. For this one, you are definitely going to need like a white or a gray color. You're also going to need a black color, and then from there, you can use those same kind of bruisey colors that we used earlier, and from there, it's kind of up to you. All right, so here goes nothing. First thing I want to do is, we are dead. I mean, we're undead, but we're dead, right? When you're dead, there's no blood flow. So I am pretty pink, partly because I'm sunburned, and partly just because I am pink, always. So the first thing I kind of want to do is make sure that I take that down so that it doesn't look like I'm a living human being anymore. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to grab one of the cotton rounds, and I'm going to go ahead and do a white first. I don't want to just like cake my face in white. I am not Pennywise the clown. I am not going for clown makeup. So I kind of want to take it and like spread it round and wipe it and spread it out. Right. I do want to cover my eyes. So I'm pretending like this is foundation, right? Like if I was doing regular makeup. And I want to make sure it gets all the way up to my hairline. And it's clearly going to take more than one set to do my whole face. So I'm going to go back again and get some more paint. So yeah, I'm just kind of getting that all over. Again, I want to go all the way back to my ears. Depending on how hardcore you decide to be, you can take it down your neck. It is up to you. I'm not showering after this, and I'm just going to take the wipe it off. So I'm not going to go all the way down my neck because I still have to go to the store after this, and I'm going to go in zombie makeup, and it's going to be great. Right. Again, I'm making sure I get under my nose, all the way back to my ears, under my chin, right, and I am going to do my lips. Please don't eat the face paint. It's not great for you. But I do want to take down the color. Okay, so once I got that done, bear with me again. I told you I'm really blind, so I have to like keep getting closer because I'm like, ah, can't see. So I'm just gonna guess it looks okay. Once I've done white, I am gonna go back in with some gray. Be careful because some of our gray is silver, and silver will make you look like the Tin Man, not again the zombie that you're looking for. So I'm just kind of dabbing it on, kind of all over, in an effort to make it look a little more, less like I'm a vampire or just a really pale wackadoo who hasn't seen the sun in a while. Again, I want to make sure I'm going all the way up to my hairline all the way down to my chin. I'm just gonna kind of keep covering, right? Blending, right? Deadening the skin a bit. Up in my eyebrows, and then the corner of my nose, like the whole thing, dude. Basically, literally everywhere. Ha! It feels like a really gross facial at the moment because it's kind of cold. Right. So what I'm starting to do is look a little more dirty, a little less cute. Right. So that way I look like I'm not full of life and pumping blood. Right. We're gonna keep adding color on top of this, so if you don't get it quite as like pale as you feel, some of the darker colors will help take that down as well. Right. So second part about being dead, unfortunately, is you start to lose muscle mass and fat. Sorry, I totally just bonked you. So you're gonna start to lose muscle mass and fat. So what's gonna happen is that your face is going to try to sink inward. So when you see a zombie, a lot of the times on the TV, they have like a weird contour to them. Contouring is basically being able to change the shape of your face with makeup, which is pretty cool. So we're gonna go ahead and sink down your eyes first, of course, because that is like a really big section in your head that they can sink backwards, right? Like you've seen a skull, it's got a pretty big eye socket. So this section, I am not just going to make it black because then I'm going to look like a cartoon skeleton, which if that is your goal, more power to you. But I'm going for zombie, which is a little more natural look. And so I'm gonna take some black. Again, I'm gonna dab it out first just so that I get a lot of that off. And then it's gonna go in my eye. I am dabbing, notice, not just like shoving it in my eyeball and smearing it all over. Because that dabbing motion is gonna help us make it so that it blends outward and it's not just like raccoon face, right? Because you're not really a raccoon, you're a zombie. Okay. So you'll notice I'm getting my eyelid, like my whole eye, tapping it in. You need more, always go back for more. But you definitely want to make sure that you get the corner of your eye right here. And start, because we're going to make that nose look a little skinnier, right? You can also just grab water, just like we did with everything else, and kind of just pull it out so that it looks a little more natural and a little less like it just stops right there. Especially here, right, like in my eye. Right, so it's dark, but it's not like stupid looking. Okay, I'm gonna do my other eye off camera because I can't see and I feel stupid glaring at you. But I'm gonna make the other one to match. Hold up. Hi guys. All right, I'm back. So I made this eye to match this eye. And then the next thing I did, and I did this while I was off camera just because I was like, oh wait, I forgot. So I took some of that purple that we used in our bruises earlier. It's a really nice kind of reddy purple color. And I just kind of dabbed off the excess. And then I went around the outside of my eye, just dabbing ever so slightly. It's giving it that really nice, like, this is not just like a black outline on my eye, but it's like blending it out into my skin. And it looks pretty, like, mottled because I'm not mottled. It's like bumpy and veiny and kind of gross looking because I'm not smearing it around. I'm dabbing because I want the texture. So that there's different like spots in it. So it's kind of looking like it's rotting, which is cool. So usually at this point in the lesson, I would let you go on your own and decide what you kind of zombie it is that you want to be. You can find loads of inspiration looking at different zombie movies, looking at different, you know, things like that. From here, you can dye your hair green and be a cheerleader or a football, I don't know, whatever they do in that movie. All sorts of things like that. But this is the basic like undead look. I'm gonna go a couple steps further and add some more things to it. You're welcome to stay on with me and do that, or you can check out, but definitely send us pictures of your makeup because I am dying to see everyone else's. Plus, I need some new pictures for the face paint book, so send me some pics. All right, I'm gonna throw this one out because I made that mistake. Oh, before I let you go, and before I move on, there was a point in every makeup where it looks good and you're done, but your mind says, I could add more. And then you add more and you're like, that was a mistake, right? We all hit that point. I am terrible about it. I do it all the time. So don't listen to that voice. Once it looks good and you feel like you're done, let it go, right? Just let it go. Okay. All right, I'm gonna add a little more contour. What I'm gonna do is I'm gonna sneak in my cheeks. The way I'm gonna do that is I'm gonna highlight my cheekbone, which is here. So I'm gonna leave the lighter color here, and I might actually add some more white. And then I'm gonna do a darker color underneath, like inside my cheeks, where like if I sucked, I wanna make like this bit darker, right? So I wanna bring down that look. The way I'm gonna do that is, again, I legit use these for most everything. So I'm gonna grab one of these again, and I'm gonna use the black paint. So again, I'm gonna wipe it down so that I'm not using straight up black. And I'm gonna go underneath my cheekbone and down, right? This is too wet and not. Okay, see, so now I've gone too much. Now it just has a black line. That's okay. I'm gonna do a matching line on this side, and then I'm gonna blend them out. But I wanna make sure I'm kind of like even. Okay. So now all I am gonna do is blend. I'm gonna grab some water, just water. And I'm gonna do the same thing I was doing with my eyes, where I'm just pulling down. So where I was pulling out before, I'm just pulling down. Right, and so I'm getting some more of that dark color in my cheek. All right, I'm gonna pull this one down, hopefully get it to match. Okay, so that kind of blends outward. If you feel like you wiped off too much of it, don't feel afraid to like add some more. Okay. Now, I don't want to look like I have crazy mutton chops, just like those big sideburns. I'm gonna take some gray and kind of blend it in a little bit more. Right. So keep blending, hold that thought. All right guys, so while you were out, basically what I did was I just kind of smoothed this out a little bit because it's really hard for me to see. So I smoothed it out a little bit. I also added some white underneath, just to kind of make it look less like I have large mutton chops coming down the side of my face. I also added some zinc on my forehead. So I used the black and I made these two lines. And then I'm just kind of going back in with white to kind of overlap. And kind of make it look like my face is skinnier than it is. Ooh, makes my nose itch. Okay, from here, it's kind of up to you. I'm not gonna do any fun prosthetic-y type things, but you can do. Elmer's glue or like white school glue is great stuff to make like flaky skin. You know how when you like put it all over your hand and then you like peel it off? It's very satisfying. Yeah, so because it's non-toxic and it's washable and it's super great, you can always do patches of it and then like get it all flaky when it dries and it looks like your skin is falling off. That's super fun. Then one of the things I am gonna do is I'm gonna do some veins or like little bits of like thing. So I want to use the smallest brush I can find, right? Because I don't want them to be huge and ridiculous looking, because that's gonna look stupid. I'm actually gonna do them, I think, around my lips, because this part of me still doesn't look super zombie. I can also do the same kind of flesh rot, and probably will as a base coat. Oh no, I've run out of cotton things. Hold on 2 seconds. Let me get more. Around my lips, I'm going to probably do that same kind of purple color with the black overlap so that it looks kind of like my lips are rotting off as well, just because it'll be a cool base. So again, I'm kind of doing basically I'm just kind of pushing on it. Because I want the texture. You can make it look like you've been eating people, or you can just look like your lips are falling off. It's up to you. I usually try and do a red color here, or a redder color here, because it's hard to cover your lips, right? It's like hard to make them less pink than, or like it's hard to make them a lighter color than they already are, because they're usually the darkest part of your face. So I usually try to use like a purple or a black here, sometimes green. That's fun. So the purple on its own looks pretty gnarly, at least from what I can see, because again, all of this is really blurry to me, so I don't know what you can see. We're gonna try though, okay? But I'm probably gonna add a little bit of the black over top. Again, I don't want to use just like black. This is not a cartoon makeup face, unless that's what you're going for. In which case, more power to you. I'm all for it. Again, don't eat the face paint. It's not good for you. It is non-toxic, but it doesn't taste great. Alright, so that way it looks a little bit like it's rotting off. And I feel like the top of my head needs them. I like skin rot. I think it's cool. I think it looks like fun. So you can choose 2 ways to go with the rot. The purple, which is my personal favorite, or you can choose to do the Beetlejuice, which I did for Halloween. Do the green, right? Because again, it's looking like your flesh is rotting away. So I'll put a little bit of green up here. Right. plus green plus purple makes a really ugly like brown color. It's great. Looks pretty gross. So again, I'm gonna do, I think, a little bit of like veining, which is super cool. I'm going to use, I don't like any of these color choices. I'm probably gonna mix. I usually hand to mix most of the time. So I'm gonna take that purple that we've been using, and I'm gonna get a whole bunch of it. Bunches. And I'm also gonna take the red that we've been using. Just kind of mix it together, because it's gonna give me a much nicer, like, it's not as Crayola again. Crayola colors are great for coloring with, but you don't really want like fire truck red on your face, because it's not really a color that would happen. So what I'm doing is I'm taking the color I just mixed, and I'm just kind of adding what looks like veins right out from underneath my lips. Veins and arteries and things like that have all these little branches off of them, right? So they kind of look like trees or roots. But what you'll see is now it's starting to look kind of fakey because some of it is too thick. So I'm just gonna go back there and kind of take it down to a red and then try again. So adding more water is always an option because it can take it back down. Right, but I want to use like the lightest of touches, but I'm not looking ridiculous. I probably could have found a smaller brush, but I think this is the smallest one I have. Right, I can add some more up here. And pretty much anywhere you like them. I think they're fun. It's totally up to you. So yeah, I'm gonna turn this off real quick while I finish my makeup. Hold that thought. All right, friends, I'm back. I've added clearly some more creepy bits. A little bit of everywhere. And some broken skin. I'm gonna listen to my own advice and not listen to my little voice and keep adding things because I think it looks sufficiently scary, especially now that I can like actually see it. But I hope you guys had fun. I actually like the green up here, it looks really good. Totally send us your zombie pictures because I need zombie inspiration for next year's zombie camp. I'm making a book on it, so you could be featured in our zombie book. So definitely tag us in your pictures. We want to see your zombie makeup.